In our last video then we looked at two compound measures. We looked at density and speed, and now we're going to look at pressure. So our formula for pressure equals force over area. Right, our units are important, so we can just have newtons for force. For area, we can have centimeters squared or meters squared. And then for pressure, it's going to be either newtons per centimeter squared or newtons per meter squared. And the same as the other two, we've got our formula triangle. Pressure is force over area. So for part A, find the pressure if part 1, the force is 2,000 newtons and the area is 25 centimeters squared. So we're looking for pressure, so cover it over in a triangle. So our formula is F over A. So we have pressure equals force over area, or force divided by area. So that's force 2,000 divided by our area, 25. And that gives us 80. And then our units, force is in newtons, area is in centimeters squared. So our units are newtons per centimeter squared. Part 2 then, again we're looking for pressure. This time our force is 750 newtons and our area is 25 meters squared. So we're looking for pressure, so cover it over. So our sum is F over A. So pressure equals force over area, or force divided by area. So that's 750 divided by 25, which is 30. Our units, so force as always is newtons. Our area this time is meters squared, so our pressure is newtons per meter squared. Part B, find the force if, so part 1, the area is 24 centimeters squared and the pressure is 10 newtons per centimeter squared. So if it's force, cover over F, and we're left with P times A. So our formula is force equals pressure times area. So we have 10 times 24, which is 240, and our units for force are always newtons. Part 2 then, we're still looking for the force. This time our area is 0.7 meters squared and our pressure is 1.8 newtons per centimeter squared. So the first thing you should notice is that our units don't match up. We've got a meter squared in the area but centimeters squared in the pressure. So the first thing we need to do is change the units for the area. Okay. So we need to go from meters squared to centimeters squared. So the easiest way to figure out how to do this is to say, well, how do I go from meters to centimeters? So you know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, 2 meters, 200 centimeters. So we're timesing by 100 to get from meters to centimeters. So to get from meters squared to centimeters squared, we multiply by 100 squared. So our area is 0.7 meters squared. So to get it into centimeters squared, we do 0.7 times 100 squared. And that turns out to be 7,000 centimeters squared. And then we'll have to think about our wee triangle to get our formula. So pressure is F over A. We're looking for the force, so cover that over. So the sum that we're going to use is force equals P times A. So pressure times area. So our pressure is 1.8. Our area worked out is 7,000 centimeters squared. So when we multiply that, we get 12,600. And our units for force are always newtons. Part 3 then, we have the area is 450 centimeters squared and the pressure is 25 newtons per meter squared, and again we're trying to find out the force. So remember to look at our units. So our area is in centimeters squared and our pressure is in newtons per meter squared. So we need to again change the units of area. So we want to go from centimeters squared to meters squared. So think, how do we get from centimeters to meters? So if you have 100 centimeters, you have 1 meter. So we're dividing by 100. So to get from centimeters squared to meters squared, we divide by 100 squared. So our area was 450 centimeters squared. So we're going to divide that by 100 squared, and we get 0.045 meters squared. And then we'll have to think about our formula. So we are looking for force to cover over F. So our sum is going to be force equals pressure times area. So our pressure is 25 and our area is 0.045. Multiply that and we get 1.125, and our units for force are newtons. Part C then, so this time we're looking for the area. So find the area if the force is 250 newtons and the pressure is 40 newtons per centimeter. So we're looking for area, so cover that over on your triangle, and we're left with the sum F over P. So area is force over pressure, or force divided by pressure. So we have 250 divided by 40, which gives us 6.25. And we'll have to think about the units. So our pressure is in newtons per centimeter squared. So our area will be centimeters squared. And our last one then, again, we're still looking for area. And this time the force is 7,495 newtons and the pressure is 5 newtons per meter squared. So we're looking for area, so cover that over in your triangle. And we're left with F over P. So our area is force over pressure, or force divided by pressure. So that's 7,595 divided by 5. And we get 1,499. Our units, so look at our units for pressure, they're newtons per meter squared. So our area is going to be meters squared.